Hey guys, how's it going? So today we have an interesting one. I actually reviewed the original Freak and I didn't like it. So today we've got the soup. What the hell is going on? Sweetheart, tell the kids to leave my crap alone. Alright. Anyways, guys, so today we are reviewing the soup. What the heck is going on?
She's a super freak, 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 super freak. She's super freaking out.
Alright guys, let's kick this thing off, shall we? So today we're taking a look at the Benchmade 560BK-1. This is the updated model of the Freak. I did review the original Freak as stated in the beginning, and I did not like that knife. It had some fit and finish issues, and I just wasn't a fan of the elements and how it was executed. So that knife was a no-go for me. But we're going to check this one out. It was graciously provided by Zach over at Zach Stuff. I'm going to link his channel down below. Go check him out. He puts out some good stuff. He is a Benchmade connoisseur, so to speak. He's always getting the new Benchmades, the things that some of us aren't checking out. He's got it all covered. So go make sure you go sub him if that's something you're interested in. But the way we're going to break this down is we're going to throw in a quick spec check, go over the basic specs of the knife, drop in a size comparison, and then go over the pros of the knife, the things it's doing well, the so-so, the things that are kind of nitpicks, things that aren't deal breakers, but things that caught my attention. And we're going to go over the oh no's. Those are going to be the possible deal breakers, things that make us pump the brakes and possibly pull back a little bit. So to get things started, we're going to throw in the spec check here and get going. Here we go. Alright, now that we got the basic spec check out of the way, we're going to drop in the size comparison snapshot. It's going to drop down here, and you're going to see it against some other knives, and you can kind of see where it's at in my collection. My Manix 2 is one of my biggest knives in my collection, if not the biggest, and this is a little bit bigger. So that gives you an idea of where this knife is going to fit. Okay, so let's just dive in. The pros of the knife, the things that this knife is doing well. One of the things I got to say that, in my opinion, is the looks of this knife. I'm a big fan of this G10, this black and gray G10 with this red G10 liner and these red back spacers. I think this goes together really well. Not a big fan of coated blades, which we'll cover a little bit later, but I can see why it works. The black with the black and gray and the red really stands out. It's a looker, and it kind of makes you do a little bit of a head turn when you first see this knife. I gotta admit, they did a really good job. They nailed it with this one, more so than on the other one. So really big win on the looks of this knife. Another point is going to be the action and just the satisfaction, the fidget factor. I'm going to roll in a clip here. You're going to just hear it. It's really like clacky and snappy when you're doing it. I'm loving how that feels and sounds in the hand, and I know that's such a little kind of a nitpick thing. It doesn't affect form or function, but Benchmade Axis Lock is a very fidget friendly. You're going to play with it, and this one is very satisfying. Maybe the most satisfying Benchmade I've had playing with. It's just super clacky and snappy, and just it's great. I love the action of this knife. Another thing is just the construction of it. This has to be the sturdiest knife with no steel liners that I've ever held. The thing damn near feels like a fixed blade when it's deployed. The lockup is rock steady, super rock steady, nothing, no play in any direction. very just solid knife in hand. Like I said, it almost feels like it could be a fixed blade, and it works really well on how they did this. They executed that great. So super sturdy construction. Another thing that was kind of impressive, that this does come in at 4.3 ounces. It's not the lightest knife in the world, but for a knife this size, that's pretty impressive. I'm happy with just the weight, how this feels in hand for how sturdy it is. That's going to be a big win for this knife. And just kind of playing off of that, the G10 on this knife, it's significantly better than some of the other knives I reviewed recently, the Shaman. This is a smoother G10. So it's not super rough in the hands, and the fit and finish on it is spectacular. Where these two liners meet up, there's no transition points, no hot spots. It is smoother, but you can see they've milled out some texturing, little spots here, and then they did this like cross cut. That works great. For a smooth G10, it's pretty grippy, and it fits in the hand really comfortably. I'm a big fan of how they executed this. The handle is the star of the show on this knife. I know it's got the M4 blade steel, but to me the handle and the action is the biggest thing on this knife, because it all just ties together in a really nice package. And kind of touching on the steel, M4 steel, pretty nice upgrade compared to the original. I'll be honest with you, I am not the steel expert. I did a little bit of research into this, and I'm going to kind of link you guys down below in the description. Just a little shout out to a few guys. There's a few guys that I talk to that are the knife nerds. They are the guys that know their crap. And when they talk about the stuff, I just kind of sit in the background going, yeah, wow, okay. But, trying to take notes and learn a little bit. So I'm going to link those guys down below if you want to learn more about this kind of steel and how that plays into the knife. You got Super Steel Steve. He actually, his M4 video is the one I watched just to kind of educate myself a little bit about that. You got In the Pockets, and then you have Banter 24/7 and Gerald at Outpost 76. So I'm going to put all that stuff down in the description. If you guys want to learn about steel, you're not going to learn it here. I mean, I'll tell you the little basics here and there, but those guys nail it. They do really good testing. So go check them out if you guys got a second and that's something you're interested in. But M4 steel is a nice upgrade. I'm glad they went with a really good steel on this package. It makes it just even more enjoyable to have. You're getting nice steel, nice handles, great action. So far we're doing pretty good with this knife, Benchmade. And the last little bit is going to be on this model with it being a Benchmade. I know people give Benchmade crap for fit and finish, but guess what? It is centered. Everything is as it should be. Everything is nice. Transitions are great on this knife. Everything's good. I'm digging it. Everything worked out really well. Oh, I want to touch on one other thing. The pocket clip. And the reason this is going to be on the pros on this one is because of the original pocket clip, how terribly I hated that going in and out of the pocket. So here's a clip of this one just going in and out of the pocket. You see, it's like night and day compared to the original. The other one got all snagged up because the rubber, and it was just terrible. This one does really well in the pocket. So I'll give them that just the improvement over it. It's not deep carry or anything. It's nothing special, but the fact that they improved how this lines up because of the new material. So that's going to be a big pro on this knife over the original. We're going to go into some so-sos now. The things that are just kind of okay about the knife, or the things that I want to nitpick on. All right, so-sos. Here we go, right there. Jimping. Jimping's not really doing much for me. It's a little smooth. It doesn't really help me lock in. Really, the only thing that's locking me in here is more the fact that there's a ramp here that my thumb can get behind. It's not sliding up, but I feel like it would be just as effective without the jimping. So the jimping on this one is, it's so-so. It doesn't really do much for me. Just it's got a coated blade and it's kind of round, not aggressive. So it's not really helping me lock in on the knife when I'm holding it. Another thing is going to be, so I have small hands and this is a big knife. So this is going to be only particular to a certain group of people, and that's going to be the small hand community. Hashtag small hand problems. Here we go. If you have a big hand or a medium hand, this is not an issue. Like I said, this isn't a knock against the knife. This is just something to inform folks on. So when I go to hold this knife in my hand, it is very comfortable. It's done really well, except for what happens is right there, you see that little bump that's kind of landing on my middle finger. Now, if I spread my grip out a little bit, I can kind of hold it there, and that's a little unnatural for me. It's not a hot spot. It's not tearing my finger up. It's rounded really nicely, but it's just a little bit of an odd feeling that my finger falls in there. Now I can pull back on the knife and do that, but I'm losing control of the blade because I'm further back. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you have a smaller hand, that's going to be something that might pop out to you. I'm hoping they do a mini version of this. That would be sweet. But yeah, that's one thing that I noticed. The other thing is going to be the handle's a little thick. You're coming in at 0.62, but it is a linerless knife that is extremely sturdy. So that trade-off I'm okay with. But something to keep in mind that this is a little bit of a thicker handle. You're going over that 0.5, sweet spot that some of us reviewers refer to, and I think that is a good sweet spot. So yeah, you're a little bit thicker on the handle, but to me that's an okay trade-off for how sturdy and solid that this knife feels. And the last couple little things is not a big fan of coated blades, personal opinion, but I get why they did it. I would like to see this knife in an uncoated blade. I would be cool with that. I oil my blades up. I'll take care of it. Give me the option of eventually down the line, Benchmade. Much appreciated. Thank you. And the last little bit is the price on this guy. We're looking at about $191. Now, as the dude would say,
yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
this is my personal opinion. I am a budget-minded guy. So when we go north of 100, 125, I start taking all the things into consideration. So at 191, you're getting a linerless knife, no steel liners, just G10 and a good blade steel. Does that really equal the 191? Well, yes and no. It just depends on personal preference. If you like Benchmade and you like the looks of this knife, it's executed really well. They put the package together. There's nothing on this knife to me that would say don't pay $191 for it. The only thing that kind of gets me at the $191 is there's a lot of options at that, and I don't know if this was the one that I would settle on. It would be in consideration though. $191 is kind of expensive for me on a knife like this because there are lots of options. But this knife is done extremely well. The elements all work together. Everything ties up nicely on the package. So I could see it being worth $191 if that's your thing. So that's all I have to say about the price. And jumping into the oh no's, well, I ain't got none. There's nothing on this that would make me pause and say I wouldn't get it. So if you were looking at it and you were willing to spend that money, I say yes, get it, you'll like it. Or, well, here, I'll give you my opinion. Do I like it, love it, or leave it? I love it. I think it's done really well. Good job, Benchmade. You guys knocked it out of the park. Really nice upgrade to the original. Everything's as it should be, and it works. This little package and the way it's executed works. So, great job. Those are my thoughts, opinions, my ideas on the knife, so to speak. If you guys have any questions, down in the comments. I'm always willing to listen to how wrong I was or answer any questions you guys may have. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I hope you took something away from this review. We'll see you guys really soon. I got a couple more we're going to be pumping out over the next week. So stay tuned, guys. As always, have a good one. We'll see you really soon. Take care.